All right, today I have another fun scrap card idea to share with y'all. It uses our paper scraps, so we are going to be able to bust our scraps and have it make a fun, festive card. Let's get into it right now. All right, so the first thing you're going to need is paper scraps. So you can cut these into different strips. I'm using the slimline strip dies to cut that out. You're going to need some adhesive. You're going to need a shape die and some plain copy paper. So the first thing we're going to do is take our paper or sticky adhesive sheets, I'll get that right in a minute, and attach it to our paper. You do want to use copy paper for this. You want something kind of thin because we're going to die cut through it and cut through it. So we're going to trim that off. Once the thing about the adhesive sheets is once it's down, it's down. All right, so I've got that all covered in the back. I'm going to trim this down to 10.5 by 8. That way I can just cut it. When I come to cut the card fronts, I can have easy cutting measurements. So now we are going to peel off our adhesive backing. And I've got that all peeled off now. Now we're going to take our different size strips and we are going to attach them. Now, if you have, like I did, where some of the adhesive didn't stick, you can just run some tape runner down through there. You want to do this in quadrants to make this into a quilt top pattern or quilt-ish pattern. But I've put down strips and I shouldn't have put, you're going to see in a minute, I'm going to decide that shouldn't have went there. That first piece that I put down. But we're going to alternate putting down our different size strips. Here I go pulling that back up. Because I'm going to move it. So I'm going to move it down a little bit. I shouldn't have put it there either, but I did. We'll fix that. I'll show you how to fix that. So we're going to keep putting our strips and we're going to make different, fill in each section just like this. And I'm alternating the pattern and size of the pattern paper strips. You could use cardstock strips for this. You could use specialty papers, anything you want that you have in your scraps. See, this is how I'm fixing it. I'm adding that same size strip, just with continuing that on off the page. And then I'm going to keep filling it in the sections. You're going to fill one side, add a strip to one side, add a strip to the other side, and bricklay it. It's like a kind of like a chevron pattern, but kind of offset is what you're supposed to do. But Rick kind of screwed up at the top, but that's okay. We'll fix it. It works out to be fine. But this is what you want to do is you want to lay one strip down one side. I should have pulled that up and I didn't. So I'm going to just cut and fill in the rest of that strip right there, just like that. We sped this up. These I'm just going to lay down flat. And now I'm going to do the other side, and I'm just continuing adding those little strips. This is a great way to get rid of a lot of scraps. I find that cutting them with the dies was a lot easier because it gave me the various strips in different sizes, but they were all nice and straight, and everything butted up against each other perfectly fine. So we're going to fill in our last section here. And then, just in case you did not get everything lined up perfect, I have a fix for that. So we got a couple more little strips here, and I love the adhesive strips for this because it makes it so easy. Now I'm going to pull in some glitter. Actually, we're going to press this down real good onto that adhesive sheet. Now I'm going to pull in the glitter, and it doesn't take a lot. I've just got a pinch, and I'm going to take and rub it around the pieces of paper. That way it fills in any adhesive gaps that I may have missed. Didn't take a lot. Now I'm going to brush off the excess, and then I'm going to trim off all the overhanging strips of paper. Y'all have seen me do this before, where I've trimmed this off. So we're just going to trim this off the edge of our adhesive back stripped up copy paper, and just trim off the other side. You could use a trimmer if you want to. I find it easier just cut it with scissors. Now, we're going to take and run this through the rotary cutter because I want to make sure those are nice clean edges. So I'm just kind of trimming off any excess that I didn't get nice and smooth. Still that same 10.5 by 8 measurement. Now we're going to take and cut it in fourths. So right up the middle at 4, and then right at the middle at 5 1/4. So that gets our 4 panels. Now we're going to take these and put them into an embossing folder. And I couldn't decide the embossing folder, so I'm using 2. I'm going to run those through the die cutting machine and the embossing sandwich, and that gives us our little quilted topped pattern. A little quilted effect, I guess you would say. So there's that one, and all I have to do now is attach them to card fronts and see how you get by doing that, the stacking and shuffling. You get the different patterns. We're going to attach these to our card fronts now, which are just Desert Storm A2 card bases, cut at 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm just going to attach those. That gives us a look at all 4 of our cards. You can see the different, how once you cut them all down, you get a different look for each card. This is probably one of my favorite techniques to do with pattern paper scraps, because it gives you such unique looks. And then you added the embossing and it just steps it up a little bit. Now we're going to take and stamp out our sentiment. I'm trying to see here which die I needed, and it was the medium-sized fir tree, Nested Fir Tree Die from scrapbook.com. I've cut those out of white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment from Holiday Mugshots. I'm going to use VersaFine Claire. What is that green ink? It's VersaFine Claire Green Oasis ink. It's a nice pigment ink. I like how VersaFine Claire inks stamp, and especially for sentiments. They give it usually a nice clean result, and they look pretty. So there are my sentiments. We got one more. So there's all of our sentiments. Now we're going to take these, and I'm going to I'm going to splatter some of the Gilded Shimmer Splash from Brutus Monroe over each of our trees now to add a little bit more festivities to them. It's like this because you have a little brush in there, and I don't have to pull out a paintbrush. It's all right there for me. So then just kind of splat, splat, splat. All right, now we're going to dry those so I can attach them to our card fronts. And I am going to pop those up with foam tape. This is our scrapbook.com 2mm foam tape. And all I have to do now is peel the backings off and attach it to my card fronts. And that gives me 4 super easy festive card designs that uses up scraps, and I have cute cards to send out now. All right, so if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. As we continue putting our sentiments on, I'm going to show you all of the cards in just 1 second. But let me know in the comments below if you like this technique. If you have paper scraps you need to use, this is a great one. Okay, to finish this off, I'm going to add some Trinity dewdrops from Trinity Stamps. I'm just going to pick out, I'm going to do 3. I started to put one at the top, but decided that I didn't want it up at the top. I just wanted them around the sentiments. So I'm just going to move that, take off the adhesive, and add our little 3 dewdrops to each of our cards. Y'all think words are hard. All right, so here's all 4 cards completely done. And I will give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. Love you.